What's up, beautiful people? How you guys doing? My name is Kwame with KP Media Works, and today I have a very nice topic to kind of talk about, deliberate about. I want to know what you guys think in the comment section. One thing that I personally believe that one decision that I personally believe that I made, especially around late 2024, was finding myself a community or finding myself group of people that I believed they were maybe ahead of me, or they were doing things that I really respected, that I wanted to be around them. Not because I wanted to go maybe steal their knowledge or copy them, but surrounding myself with people that I believe they were ahead of me, to be able to learn from them, to be able to kind of like you know get the knowledge, see how they do things and stuff, right? I remember beginning, so let's go back to, let's say, beginning of my career, right? When I started off my career, especially when I started off with photography, one of the things that I used to do a lot was, sometimes when, let's say, I was working on a project or I was doing something, most times I will reach out to a friend and tell them to come and help me out, or call them to assist me and stuff, right? But around, I think mostly I did most of it in 2025. In 2025, mostly one thing I started to do was I started to actually reach out to people that were in the industry instead of just reaching out to my friends, right? So when I say my friends, I mean it's like people that were just close friends of mine, that they were not specifically in the industry, right? So maybe my friend could be a doctor, and I'd be like, hey, can you come and help me out in a photo shoot or something? And then they were always, always, always very glad to help me out. They were amazing people. They really did help me out and stuff, right? But in 2025, one thing that I realized was, I was, instead of it got to a point where I felt like sometimes I was bombarding my friends and they had things to do that I didn't want to kind of like disrupt their day, or I didn't want to like what's the right, there's a word for it, like I didn't want to disturb them, right? So in 2025, one of the things that I started to do was, I started to if, let's say, I had a project or had something that I was working on, I'll reach out to someone that was actually working in the industry. So if, let's say, I'm doing a photo shoot and I need a help, instead of maybe messaging a friend, I'll rather message another photographer that I know and be like, hey, can you come and help me out and stuff. And I believe doing that really did help my career, did help my works that I was creating. And one of the important things that I can say about the whole thing was, I started to get fresh perspective on things, right? On how I was doing stuff. Because usually, if, let's say, you were doing a project and you just bring your friends on board, your normal friends on board, like, you are most times the only creative person over there, right? Sometimes they can have an input, but because it's not an industry that they are in, or it's their field, they don't have a lot of input to give you as much. But let's say I'm doing a video shoot, I'm shooting a music video or whatever, sometimes, like, you can have someone there, like, oh, maybe KP, if you do it this way, or maybe what about if you try this whole light? And it's good to have fresh perspective on things. And it's something that, as I started to do, I was like, oh, that is a really beautiful thing. And it's something that I've also been trying to, okay, especially in 2026, I want to be doing most of it, like, call people that I really value, call people that I really respect, and have them on my productions. And then not just on my production, but also be on their productions, right? When you are in your own bubble, you don't really get to grow, right? Because you get to do that same thing, you get to do a constant repetition of what you just know. But once I started working on other people's projects, sometimes I don't even want to use the word work. I started kind of like maybe volunteering or collaborating or just being on other people's production. I started to see different perspective of the industry. There were certain things that I probably never would have thought about, right? There were certain ideas that may have never come into mind, right? But being on other people's production, seeing how other people run their business, see how they run a set, see how they talk to their crew, it was a very big learning opportunity for me, that I was like, oh, this is a really beautiful thing. Like, I can't believe I was not doing this much. I used to just only work on my own production. That is what I used to do. Especially, I remember from 2020 to like 2023, 2024, every production that I was on was usually on my own production. I was just doing my own thing, right? I was just doing my own thing, and I've been doing it for like 3-4 years now, So I started collaborating on other people, not just on my production, but just showing up on other people's production, either just being a PA, or just just sometimes just showing up, just shadowing them, right? Those instances placed me in a mindset where it kind of like I was able to get exposed to different knowledge, I was able to get exposed to different ideas, different ways of doing things. And that is something that I really like. I'm like, oh, I really wish I had started doing this very early on in my career. As much as I'm running my own productions, and then I'm running my own set, and I'm running my own business, it's also good to also sometimes just put yourself in those positions where you are also on someone else's business. You are also on someone else's set. You're also on someone else's meeting, right? Just doing those stuff places you in a position where you're able to really learn. And I think it's something that personally for me moving forward is something that I am going to constantly do, where I want to surround myself with a lot of people that I, especially like I always say, I respect their work, I see what they're doing, and it's something that I wear as some places that I want to see myself someday, right? So it's not just maybe like I don't want it to come off like maybe I just want them, I want to go there to just maybe go steal their knowledge or the advice. For me, the way that I always approach this kind of stuff is whenever I'm collaborating, or I'm working with someone, or I'm trying to form a connection with someone, I don't go in with the process of, oh, I'm just coming to take, but rather it's always, how can I provide value for this person whilst building something long term, right? Like one person that I really value very much, is a very good friend of mine. His name is Nate. Like we met, I think late 2024, and seeing the kind of relationship that I've been able to build with this brother of mine professionally, but it's been like he was the one that pretty much got me exposed to getting my first cinema camera, right? It's those little things where sometimes you look at it and then you are like, I'm really glad I really met this person, and I'm glad that I didn't go in, especially when I met him, I didn't go in with kind of like I'm trying to steal or trying to copy, or I'm trying to know. I went in is like, okay, I really respect this dude, he has some great input, how can I collaborate with him, how can I keep working with him? It was not like I was just going to take, but rather I was going to rather form a brotherhood, meet a brother, someone that you can just form a genuine relationship. I believe that sometimes, especially in this industry, when you see someone that may be ahead of you, it's so easy to just kind of be like, I'm just gonna go there and copy, I'm just gonna go there and copy, I'm just gonna go there and copy. But I think if you approach it from the perspective of, I just want to form a genuine relationship with this person, and not just go there with the mindset of just going to take, right? Because if you're always going there to just you just want to go and take, you just want to go there and take, you just want to go and copy, you just want to go and do that, then you kind of like it becomes like you just using people, and nobody likes anyone that is like that, where someone that just likes to use people to just climb, right? For me, I'm very 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 particular about having a family, having a community, having a group of people that I continue to work with. One thing I've realized is this whole industry is all about group of community, or group of people that you just continue to work with, and then you help each other grow, right? When we look at people like, let's say Ryan Coogler is having certain group of people that he continues to work with in his projects, right? It is not like he can't work with other people, but he has certain people that no matter what he will work with, whilst also making room for other people, right? Like he's always having his music composer guy that he works with. He has been working with him from film school. He has been working with Michael B. Jordan from, I don't know, since 2011 or whatever, right? So it's always good to have yourself group of people that you are working with, or you are growing. For me, I see it as growing with, instead of just working with, like group of people that you have genuine relationship with professionally, where you are always kind of like growing with, building a community with, where each project that you are working on, you can pretty much just call them, hey brother, you wanna come on this. Sometimes the project you are not getting paid, sometimes you're getting paid, and that is okay, and that is something that I really do value, and especially in 2025, is something that I'm doing a lot, where I'm making sure that I'm just building genuine relationship, people that I can work with and continue to grow with, and not just people that I just want to use them to climb into my next stage of my career, right? So this is just a little rambling of me, and I've been having this thought like a lot, where it's like, especially in 2025, where I was very fortunate to find myself around certain people that I was able to grow with, and I really do appreciate each and every one of them. Like, I don't want to mention names to for anyone to feel left out, but they know themselves. Like those people that kept calling me to be on their set, they kept calling me, giving me work opportunities, sometimes just even allowing me to volunteer on their production. I also feel like this is something, especially if you're out there and you don't practice this, because I used to be that person that was just in my corner just doing my own thing, right? But when I allowed myself to just be exposed to certain people and how they see things, I have been able to learn really a lot. So if you are also there, if you're also out there and you are just kind of like doing what I used to do, is you're just you being in your own bubble, doing your own thing, I would say open yourself up to being around other creatives, right? Being around other professionals, being around other people, especially people that, let's say, you can see that they are doing better than you, or they are ahead of you in the industry. Try to surround yourself with, go in with the mindset of forming genuine connection with them, genuine relationship with them, whether professionally or whatever, genuinely, and then just go in. And sometimes when you go in, the one thing that I also pride myself is, when you go in, when I went in, I always let people know, hey, I'm still learning, or I don't know things. It's easier. I feel like it's better to let people know from the beginning that you are still new, than to come off and pretend that you are not new, and then you can't like start messing up things, right? For me, I always let people know, hey, maybe I don't know this. Hey, what is this? What is it? I remember one time I was on set and someone was mentioning a spigot. This is a very good example, actually. I was on set, right, and someone mentioned a spigot. And I was sitting there, and I was working with an AC, and he said, "Oh, can you grab the spigot from my bag for me?" And I was like, "What the? Oh, this is a YouTuber. I don't want to cuss." I was like, "What the hell is a spigot?" Right? So I remember I had to ask around, went to Google, and then I saw what a spigot was. I was like, wait a minute, I know what a spigot is. Like, I even have some I use at home, right? But because I was not surrounded by other people, I always knew that it was just this thing that I use when I use under on my lights, to put it on my tripod, or to put it on my light stand, right? But I didn't know that there was an industry name for it till I found myself around other people where they actually mentioned that, okay, this is the name for it. It's called a spigot. Right? So it's just those little things where sometimes you just surround yourself with other people, you get to learn, you get to see how the industry, you get to be exposed to different ideas, different ways. Like, I can say that the way that I used to shoot even early 2024 and how I'm shooting now in 2026 is completely different, all because I allowed myself to surround myself with other people. And I think it's something that especially all you guys that are part of this community, let's do more of it. Let's surround ourselves with groups of people that we value, we respect, and then the relationship is very mutual. And then let's help each other grow and build a community. And it's gonna be one of the most beautiful things. Like, if you want to go fast, you can do it alone. But if you want to go far in life, you need a community, you need a group of people to do it. And that is something that, for me, one of my biggest motto is finding myself, my community, my group of people that I continue to work with, whilst also giving room, right, and giving avenue for other people to be able to also come in and then also be exposed. So this is just my little rambling of this whole topic and this whole thing. And you guys should let me know what you guys think about this. Like, do you like working alone, or do you like working with other creatives and then just being able to learn from them? I really appreciate you guys for sitting down throughout this whole video and my little ramble, and I'm gonna see you guys in the next video. My name is Kwame, and thank you very much for tuning in. Please, guys, one other thing, let's kindly subscribe to the channel. Let's get the subscribers to 1,000 subscribers by the end of this year. So I want to see 1,000 subscribers by the end of this year. So please, let's like, comment, subscribe, and keep building this community. And I'm gonna see you guys in the next video. Bye bye.